Good evening and welcome to another edition of the Sunday Bunch. Apologies for being late. I've got one of my borough friends just ringing me on my phone here. Apologies for being late, but one of the channel members was late coming in. Yes, it was you. But we're here. We're here with you now. Anyway, we're all happy. Conrad's on the panel tonight. Conrad, how's your day been?
It's been really good, actually, because I won last man standing that I was in, so that's £200 to £250 up. I had a bet on the Arsenal City game, won 30 quid there, so it's been a really good day.
So it's round to Conrad's for drinks. It looks like
only Mike knows where my house is, though, so that's all right.
Oh, there you go then. Well, there you go. Going on to Mike. He's with us. Mike, how's your day been?
Yeah, not bad. Grafting. Been up since 5 a.m. doing the car boot sales as I do on Sundays. So, yeah, just making some money.
Grafting. We're getting so many grafters on this channel, honestly, man. Well, better late than never. Terry, how's your day been?
It's been a nice, relaxing day today. Pretty nice, relaxing day. Had a few beers yesterday. Had a nice slap of mail last night and a few drinks and just really enjoyed the whole day yesterday. What a fantastic weekend.
You took it all in. It was good. It was a long day, it was all right. I was looking forward to getting in bed though at 4 o'clock in the morning when I did. Don't forget, of course, we are live, which means you can join us via the live chat if you want to have your say. Get it in there already. First up, as he is every single week, is the Las Palmas Macam straight in there. Chris Johnson's there. Ryan McCormack, Gary Hoyle. SJ, Jeanette Atkinson, SAFC Tom is in there as well. He's our moderator. He transferred from Terry to us.
He's only on loan. He's on loan.
He's only on loan. Is he still just
because of the Mendy incident?
He still thinks Mendy's coming.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Tony Lee, I've just seen popped up there. All right, Monkey and the lads. Right then. Just very quickly, we are starting this week every single week. Right, we are sponsored by Toffs. The old what? Terry, when you've opened your window, what does Toffs stand for?
The old-fashioned shirts or something.
Oh, come on, man! You're supposed to do your homework. These are sponsoring us.
I can't even remember what happened yesterday. I don't mind what that stands for.
Beat Borough 1-0.
Oh yes, that was it. Thank you.
Right, the old one. You can do your window. The old-fashioned football shirt company is who they are. And they have very kindly said that they're going to give us a free shirt to give away every single week. So what we're doing a members-only draw. So if you're a member, we've got 46 members at the moment, of which 5 are us. So there's only 41 people in the draw. We're going to do that later on. We'll spin the wheel. We'll get a winner, and they will be sending out. I mean, we've got loads of stuff like this. Let me show you. There's all sorts. That one and that one and that. There's all sorts of stuff, and they're gonna send out some shirts. So that's every single Sunday now. Your chance to become a winner. Thanks to Toffs. You check out their site as well. There's a link in the description. Terry,
how would you find that whale spinny thing you use? Like, where does that come from?
I'll tell you later. I will tell you exactly how to do that. Spin the wheel. Right then. So let's get on to this then. Sunderland 1, Borough 0, and I've got to say I'm absolutely over the moon because of the simple fact that for me, Borough have always been a bogey team. So nice 1-0 win, but I've got to get this question out of the way before we even start. Terry, is it a derby or is it not a derby?
Who are you asking?
Terry,
is it a you turn up late, you don't know what Toffs stands for, and now what world are you living in? We all want to live in Terry's world.
It is the second best derby in the Northeast. There you go.
So it is a derby.
Well, you've got I kind of was thinking possibly yes. When I was younger, I always classed it as a derby, yes. And then Conrad's explanation the other day I thought was quite viable, made sense. You've got to treat it as a derby. It's from a player's perspective because one team, if Middlesbrough treat it as a derby, they're up for the game. Our players have got to do the same. You've got to be up for that game, you know. So maybe it was Mike's idea. wherever he is.
Right. Okay. So, right. Well, Mike.
Well, tell you what. If we win, it's a derby. If we lose, it's not.
All right, Mike. He's stolen your thunder there. Mike, is this a derby or not a derby?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we all know the main derbies, who that's with, and I'm not even going to say the name. I'm not going to spoil them out. But it's as close as we're going to get to a derby, so we may as well call it a derby. We should play like it's a derby. Do you know why? Because that's how they come into it.
Right, that's a fair point. Before we go any further, quickly got to go to the chat because we've got a new member that's just joined us. David, can I have a round of applause for David, please, if you don't mind? And I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll scroll our members. These are all our members at the moment going across the bottom of the screen. So if you pay your $1.99 a month, less than 50 pence a week, you become a member and enter into these draws. Right, Conrad. Then, is it a derby? Is it not a derby?
I mean, I spent all week saying it's a derby, but no, it's not. Yeah, it is. No, I won't change now. Yeah, it was just mainly just to make sure, like Terry said, we have to treat it as a proper game rather than just it's just them, because a complete difference in attitude yesterday has shown the complete difference of what we've been like the last few seasons, where we've probably just thought of it, it doesn't matter. So yes.
All right, okay. Just very quickly on the chat here, Emma, our very own Emma, said never a derby. SJ says Hartlepool and Borough's derby. Tony Lee on there says not a derby for me. John Furness says Hume played like it was a derby. Conrad, you want in there?
Emma also said that Ballard's foul wasn't a penalty against Plymouth when he swiped the bloke's legs out of the way, so I wouldn't trust anything Emma says.
All right, okay.
Sorry, Philly, do you think it's a derby?
I'll get onto this just now, but I mean, I can't believe you've had a good Emma when she can't really come back at you there. That's a bit below the belt. Jackie Shields, Jack's mum's on here, and it was a pleasure meeting you last week, Jackie, down at the stadium. She says there was enough police for it to be a derby. Right, for me, it is not a derby because it's not a derby. All right, you can say it's the nearest club to us. All right, I'll tell you why it's not a derby. It's not a derby because of how you feel, right? If you lose to Middlesbrough, right, are you depressed for a few days, and are you kicking the cat, the dog, and all that stuff like that? All right. Whereas when you lose to Newcastle and you don't want to speak to anybody, how does it feel? Now, does it feel the same when you lose to Middlesbrough as it does when you lose to Newcastle? Right, Terry, does it feel the same?
Second best, like I said earlier on.
So it doesn't feel the same.
Not the same as Newcastle.
That's all right. So there you go. Mike, does it feel the same to you? Should have, Terry, man, you've had your say.
Yeah, I feel like you're politically loading questions in your favour, Philly. I refuse to answer.
Conrad, you don't. It's not the same feeling, is it?
Every defeat feels the same, Philly.
Shut up! You're talking about.
Hang on. What about Man United, who have Man City, but then they have Liverpool? That's two derbies. It's a similar situation, right?
Technically,
what about Leeds? Well. What about Leeds having Man United as their derby? I mean, what's going on there? Right, but we're not getting into this anyway. We've all decided it's not a derby. Let's put that to bed then. Right, let's get to the game. Terry, come on away then.
When do you go back for your proper teeth?
I'm going out on the 25th of November to get me proper ones. They're great, aren't they? Aren't they great? Nothing. Great, man. Right then. Listen, 1-0, great win, just what we needed after that defeat. Because typical Sunderland would lose, and then we'd lose again and lose, but we didn't. We got a win. I want your overall thoughts on the game itself. Mike, what did you think?
Well, so we said the other week it's all about the bounce back, right? And we obviously the goal was amazing, and we.
Sorry. I got one of them in COVID. The bounce back. I'm still feeling it off and all. Flipping murder. Right. Sorry, Mike. Go on.
No, but yeah, I mean, it's probably not as goal heavy as I'd like to have been, and it was a bit scrappy, but I think we held our own really well. So it was a great performance defensively from us, and it was nice to see us able to hold a 1-0 win.
Right, fair enough. And Conrad? Oh!
I can bark like a dog as well.
I know, well, he's just come in. Come on, come and say hello to everybody then. Sorry, Conrad. You just do that. I'll show you Colin's bollocks. There you go. Right, come on. Well, sorry, Conrad.
It was a really dull game, I thought, yesterday. We were saying in the commentary I was doing of it, we were just between 50 and 80 minutes. I just kept going, this Borough player to that Borough player to that one. Now they've swapped sides. Now they're going back. Now they're going there. They came with this complete defensive attitude and just sort of retaining possession, which did throw us off our game because we weren't as good as we have been in previous games and found it hard to get through. But they also just decided they were just going to do this. We're not going to move forward with the ball. We're just going to work it back and forth. And they didn't go anywhere all game. And it just felt really boring. I felt a little bit sorry for our viewers, not just because they had to listen to me, but I was literally just listing the Borough players in order and then going back through them every 2 minutes, just with them going back and forth. It was a dull game, which we nicked. That's the best way of saying it. It was Middlesbrough's fault as well.
Right, okay, fair enough. Just quickly before I come to you, Terry, as the people chipping in with the derbies, Danny and Tony Huntington on the chat says derbies are from the same city. That would make the Mags not a derby. No, I don't agree with that. It's just I think your nearest rivals. Terry, you was there. You watched the game. Sunderland 1-0. Your overall thoughts on the match itself?
2 words: job done. Job done. After last week, I was really not depressed, but I was really sick after last week's game, and I was down for a couple of days, and I wanted to make history, and I just felt like, we were back to our ways that we were last season and the previous season when we had obviously Dodds in charge last season. We went back to second half, that kind of performance. But I think a professional job done. I think we did the same against Burnley, and Middlesbrough play. A lot of their fans were saying, "Oh, we control the game, we pass the ball around, but we're not really killing games off." And it feels like they're playing the way we played a couple of seasons ago, last season, where we just had a lot of possession, but we just passed the ball down at the back and we don't really have any killer balls in the box. And I just thought, a bit of skill from Chris Rigg broke that game up when we got that goal. And I said a 1-0 score prediction myself at the start, and I just thought we could defend, rather than last week where it was more of an open game towards the end and there was people going for the win. We let a goal in. I thought yesterday the defence was absolutely fantastic. The midfield, everybody together, worked the socks off together to really keep that clean sheet. And, individual players who came in, Mepham, who came in over Ballard, I thought he was superb at the back. And I just thought you could see what they've been working on over the week. And the new fine world, Borough would have the lion's share of possession. We had to counter-attack and get that goal. And I think this is where Regis is sort of doing a really good job at really sort of implementing this style of play in this side, and it worked to a T. Yesterday, I was nervous for a lot of the second half. Don't get me wrong, I was really nervous. I really wanted that victory to get that defeat at my system last week. But at the end, when we won, I was absolutely buzzing. I just thought everybody worked the socks off, and everyone had to, put all effort in to get that result yesterday.
Thank you, Jacob. Thank you, Jacob. Right then, just very quickly, look, we got 135 people on the stream already, and on my other computer, it only says 4 likes. We must have more than that. Let's hit this thumbs up. Let's get the likes up. Don't forget, of course, we are on our way to 10,000 subscribers. We're trying to get there as quick as we can, and we need you to do it. So if you're watching, you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. It's free. Doesn't even cost anything. Hit the subscribe button. Get us to 10,000 as quick as we can. Just very quickly, back on the chat here, Tony Lee says, Carrick whinging on about Hume's tackle, but didn't even mention the penalty we were denied. I'm going to come on to that very shortly. SJ says, definitely a red card offence by Hume. We got lucky there. Reese says, Philly, are we up by Easter? Is it Christmas? Don't be silly. We're not up by Christmas. Up by Easter. Michael Bowers is on there. Hiya, Michael. How you doing? Tony also didn't mention Latte Lat's second half challenge on 09 either. Right then. Before we sort of delve further in the game, 42,000 there. I want to ask, I suppose Terry, because you lads weren't there, but the atmosphere. Terry, what did you think? Do you think the atmosphere was up for it? And also, as a secondary thing, what about the display they did at the beginning with the, where they held all the bits of paper, the plastic up and stuff like that? Terry?
I quite like that kind of thing, you know. I think it just we've done it a few times, and it seems to work the majority of times in our favour. But it brings everybody together, doesn't it? Like a whole team performance, all the crowd gets involved, and I think it's quite good. But what was the first question again? The atmosphere?
The atmosphere.
Yeah, I thought it was all right. I mean, we've had better atmospheres in the ground, but we've had worse as well. So I thought it was, for that kind of game, I thought Middlesbrough weren't as loud as I've heard them in the past. But it was all right. It was. I thought we did our job.
Do you think, considering it was a derby game, the atmosphere was all right?
It's not like a proper derby like against Newcastle, no.
No, it's not like a proper derby. Right, okay. It's just I thought it was a bit flat, at times. But you're right, what you said about like the Middlesbrough fans, they weren't very good. But I mean, I said to my mate, I went, it's quiet here, and then they started singing football in a library, didn't they, Conrad?
A few of my friends who support Middlesbrough after the game were talking about the lack of atmosphere, and a lot of them are very sick with the way they're playing at the moment. Like, as we saw yesterday, a lot of ball retention without actually doing anything. So I think they probably saw the script at half-time and went, we know exactly what's going to happen here. We're probably going to camp them in and not do anything with it, which is what they've done in most games so far. So I just think they're probably a bit sick of the way they're playing, a bit like us last season, whether it be, Dodds or Beale, where we tried to create something, but you knew what was coming in the end, which I think is probably where their fans are coming from. And like you say, because it's not a proper derby, we don't properly care.
All right, just very quickly, Filthy Trevor. good porn star name that. I love it. Filthy Trevor says 12:30 kickoffs for you, which could be a point. I'll just quickly ask you then, Conrad. How did the display look on the telly? I mean, I videoed it and I've scanned around, and it looked quite good. Did it look all right?
Yeah, it looked good. So they only showed it from the sort of hard camera angle, looking at the east stand. They didn't really show the ship in the south stand or any sort of part that was in the north stand there. But it looked really good. I've seen pictures afterwards from is it RDX that it does all the Sunderland photographs and that, and it looks absolutely class. But it was just I like the displays, but I don't like it when they just make you hold up card, because then you're not clapping or cheering when they're coming out, and that can sort of just bring the noise level down a little bit. So even when I was listening to it, it was kind of like players are coming out and no one really cheers when you've got something held up above you and you can't really see what's going on.
Right, okay. I'm just trying to work my way through these chats coming in. Don't forget, of course, we are live, which means you can join us and have your say in the live chat. Harry SFC says if Brown and Samad is back for Watford, that would give a huge boost in the middle of the park, but can't drop Rigg, Neil and Job. And also, I want to give a massive round of applause to Robert Charlton, who's donated £2 via the Super Chat. Whoever rank was Robert. Quickly, let us tell you about this. Of course, the channel doesn't make a profit, and any donations are gratefully accepted. If you want to do that via the Super Chat, there is a little $sign at the bottom of there. Just hit that, and there's a slider, and you can donate as much as you want. It is all gratefully appreciated. It does help us with the channel, but don't forget, of course, you don't have to do that. You can still comment for free if you wish to. Right then, first half, Mundell cuts inside. There he goes, inside the box, brought down. Is it a penalty? Is it not? Mike, on to you first.
I think if you're talking, any VAR system would have said penalty. I think it was soft. I don't think it was like a really harsh one, but it was definitely a penalty, and any decision based off a video referee would have called the same thing.
Right, okay. Terry, for you, was it a penalty or what?
I totally agree with Mike. Yeah, I thought it was a penalty from my angle, from the position I was in. After a couple of beers, I thought it was a penalty.
Have you seen it? I know you was there.
I haven't seen it back. I haven't seen it back, no.
Have you not seen it back? No, right. Emma's quickly jumping in there saying no pen. SJ is saying definitely a pen. This is what it's all about. It's all about opinions. Conrad, Mundell, size, brought down. You saw it from the TV angle. So is it a penalty or not?
So I'm going to have to give a Jacob Kirkbride-esque answer here with a bit long-winded one. So when it first happened, I said, that's a penalty. I saw 4 replays and went, that's definitely not a penalty. It's too soft. We had a good chat in the chat about it at half-time, and they pointed out to me as well, it's exactly the same as the penalty we got against Plymouth. He clips his heels while he's behind him. He had his hand on his shoulder and he went down. It's the lack of consistency. If we've got given one, we should have got given the other. Plus, if he was 2 yards further back and not in the box, it would have been a free kick all day long. So it has to be a penalty.
Right. Okay. I wasn't sure because obviously when we're at the game and you're watching it live, I did see one of the messages come through, but it was a bit confusing because I'm easily confused. I'm at that age now. And I thought you'd said, lads, definitely a penalty. So, because obviously we see it live in the ground, and you've got to say yeah or no, and obviously you watching it back can do that. So I wasn't. So when you do that next time, can you say Philly and then explain it? Because I'm a bit.
It took us a good 20 minutes. I said no at first, and I watched it a good few times. Went no, it's not for me. It's too soft, and I hate penalties being given for soft shit like that. But when we had a chat about it and we pointed out the Plymouth one, it actually went, yeah, actually it is. It's a foul, so it doesn't matter. It's in the box. That makes no difference. So, yeah, the chat changed my opinion during the game. So it would have been 25 minutes later if I'd have texted you.
Right, okay, fair enough. Just very quickly, back to the chat then. Mad Mackham says, late in the game, then 100% it would be given. So whether it's late in the game or not, it's either a penalty or it's not a penalty. So, and that's what confuses and annoys supporters. It's like inside the box, outside the box. You know, it's like, I mean, I said that one we got the free kick right on the edge of the area central when we hit the post. I said to me, mate, I said, if that had been inside the box, he wouldn't have even given that. But Terry, you was one in there?
Yeah, look, I mean, if VAR is involved, VAR gives a penalty and gives a penalty every single time. That should be consistently correct. But individuals who are in the heat of the moment may not always see what we can see and what VAR sees. That's why I have VAR in the Premier League, because referees can make mistakes. They might blink when you trip them off. You just don't know.
Right, okay, just very quickly before I go on the next one. Michael Bowers says penalty all day long. Harry SC, definitely a pen. Emma's saying all he done was put the hand on his back, so soft for a pen. David K, definitely a pen. Mundell was clear. It was a foul, so a penalty. John Furness, Mackham Mullet, man, 100% pen, and it goes on and on. Conrad?
The one about the second one, the one for the free kick for Mundell was... just outside the box. However, the defending player had his foot on the penalty box line, and the line belongs to the penalty box, which means things are penalties, which is the most interesting. So we're watching it going, well, I know he falls into the box, but the player is stood on the line that belongs to the penalty box, so that you could have given that as a penalty as well.
No, because the contact's made outside of the box, though.
Yeah, are you saying
they're all in there?
Yeah, but are you saying like his back foot was on the line, but where he actually had contact was his other foot? So because he touched that, he's...
So yeah, but it depends where they're drawing the decision. Are they doing it from where contact was made, where the ball position was at the time, or where Mayenda flew for another 2 meters forward to try and to get him in there? I was screaming for the Mayenda flew one to where it counted, but it's just the thing that you see the times where, well, I don't know, you see them when they get close to the box and VAR goes, well, the line belongs to the penalty box. He's touched, right. He's in the penalty box. Well, not Mayenda, their player.
I mean, rugby do it. Running down the line and you got the ball and your foot hits the line, then it's out. Even if you're leaning in. But anyway, that's for another program, I think. Right then, we did the fan cams after the game where we interviewed the fans when they came out of the ground. If you've not seen that yet, that's on the channel. Go and check it out. And I don't know if it was me because I wasn't happy with the referee at all, and I was constantly whinging about him all game. And it's not something we like to do. I thought that was a League One thing, and I thought, we're in the Championship, they're a bit better. But I thought he was shocking. I'm going to ask your thoughts on it just now. But before we do, I want to say, Robert Charlton, £3 on the super chat. Give him a round of applause. We're not top of the league. We're nearly are though. Right then, and he also says for a great charity, much respect, Philly. Right, okay, listen. Referee. Terry, do you want to go first on this? What did you think of this referee?
I wasn't too bothered, to be fair. I didn't think he had a bad game. I didn't think he had a good game. I didn't have a bad game. I've complained about referees in the past, and I wasn't in a situation yesterday where I thought at all that he had a bad game. I thought, like I say, the Hume decision could have gone, a red card, yellow card. He did a yellow card. The penalty was touch and go in the heat of the moment. He got it probably wrong. And the other one, Mundell one, he could have given that a penalty as well. I'm not quite sure, but I wasn't twisting about the referee. Maybe if we got beat, I might have been because we won. I'm a bit more lenient on the guy.
God, I tell you what, Terry, I think you might have watched a different game to me. I mean, I know there was decisions he didn't get right, but there was lots of things where you're like, he just wasn't consistent. And I know we have a little bit of bias in there. Go on, Terry.
I've only got one eye, you know.
Which? Oh, it's not your Japanese. Blind. It's not your Japanese one, is it?
Oh no, this one's blind.
Hey! Right then.
I have no idea how I've done that, so it doesn't make
listen, David Walker on the chat says ref was absolutely shocking. Rob SAFC says give our he was shocking. Conrad.
I didn't think he was terrible until I started hearing other people talking about it. The worst bit about it is he's a Premier League referee who just got our game because it was a derby, and he actually, I think, showed himself up a little bit that he got the big decisions wrong. Like the Hume one, it happened at first and I went, oh, that's naughty, you could get a red card for that one. He didn't. Fair enough to him. I think he probably thought, I'll let the game go on because it was quite early. But then he also bottled, like we said, the Middlesbrough player getting his second yellow card for taking down a 9. He said that when the penalty was given, he did the gesture for he got the ball. So I don't know what he was watching because the ball was gone at that point when he tripped him over. But it's not a Championship or a League One ref. That was a Premier League referee that we had on loan, and he was equally as bad after the fact that I thought about it. But at the time, I didn't really notice any different from normal refereeing.
I'll tell you where I noticed. I mean, and I'd said to me, pal, I don't want to use. You're not allowed to use the word fat now, are you? You've got to say, do you say large or
well built?
Well built, is that what we say? Well, I thought he was fat, to be honest. And he was like, considering, I mean, I said to my mate, I said, you don't see fat referees anymore. Like, you don't. They're normally pretty trim. So that's even more of a shocker if he's a Premier League referee as well. I thought.
Is it not slender challenged?
Well, slender chap. Well, whatever you want. But anyway, just very quickly, Michael Bowers back on the chat there says the officials in this league are shocking anyway. Apparently, well, he's the first one I've sort of come across where I've not been happy with. Mike, referee, what did you think?
Not amazing. But I'm kind of with Terry. Like, I was enjoying the win, and we had stuff going our favour. Well, bad decisions going our favour as well, because I really do think Humes could have been a red card. Like, he was nowhere near the ball. So the fact that we got away with that, when you get a bad referee, as long as the bad decisions go both ways, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I think, to be honest, like you said, I think most fans would be okay with that, even if something went against us. So long as it's consistent, you know, it's
consistently shit. That's fine.
Yeah, well, but it's when it's it's when it doesn't work both ways. That's so frustrating. It says, is how that is. Right, just very quickly, before we continue with this, I've got to give a shout out to our channel sponsors, who are footballprizes.co.uk. If you've not checked these out yet, there is a link right down there in the description. Go and check it out. Superb website, all football memorabilia and cash prizes you can win. Dead cheap as well. Some are just 99. Some are free to enter. All you have to do is go in and enter, and you might as well. It's so there's some great prizes on there. Footballprizes.co.uk. Check them out. They're also, you can do it through Twitter and Facebook as well. All those links are in the description below, and check them out. And once again, a massive thank you to Football Prizes for sponsoring the channel this season. Right then, we got the goal, and I thought pretty early on, I thought we sat back and invited Middlesbrough on, which we've praised Sunderland at the moment because that's what we used to do. And so far this season, we sort of haven't. Now, was I watching a different game, or did we actually do that? Mike?
Like I said at the start, our defence did well. And it's nice to see that we can hold out like that. I think we've got this hard to break down mentality of a team and just utilising them fast breakaways. Just don't think we got as many breakaways as we used to in the recent games. So I don't think we did anything drastically different. It was just a case of, the Middlesbrough had more of the possession, but that's the game they're playing. But they couldn't break us down. That's the main point. They couldn't get past with that possession.
Right, okay. Conrad, do you think we sat back and invited them on?
It seemed to be at first we seemed to be inviting pressure on ourselves. I think if the Middlesbrough that had played the first 10 minutes had played the full game, we'd have had a few more issues because that was the bit where they were actually getting in behind us. A couple of through balls each time. I mean, Conway hit the bar and they were playing some good through balls through our lines and getting in. And then Carrick must have said, nah, we need like 700 more passes in the middle before we try a forward pass or something, and just completely changed it. I do want to say a side point of, if we're talking tactics, I love Regis Labrie keeping the team in for as long as he does at half time. Because me and Mike pointed it. We pointed it out. Was it Cardiff and in Sheffield Wednesday? They come out and they're all ready, raring to go, and he makes them wait like a good 5 minutes before we have to come out. And as soon as we're out, we go straight to the ball and be like, right, to kick off, go, while you've been stood there waiting. It's fantastic.
I pointed that out to me mate because when it was brought up the other week about it, but I love it. It's a great thing. Terry, did we actually sit back, invite them on?
No, I think what Conrad said, the first 10 minutes, I think Middlesbrough came with a game plan. They have a possession-based team, and I think they wanted to do what they did in the first 10 minutes for the whole 90 minutes. But I think that we adapted, and I think the defenders and the midfielders learned straight away how to defend the ball, and we were looking for the counter-attacking. And I think the likes of the defensive line, Chris Meffam, came in, and I thought you could see he's a Premier League footballer. You could see that he's head and shoulders for me above everybody on that pitch, defending-wise. I just thought he was fantastic. I thought he got the ball, rid of the ball when he had to, and he was just so cool on the ball. And I think compared to Ballard last season, I know Ballard's a good player, but last week against Plymouth, he made some really, judgment errors. He had a bad game. But for him to drop Ballard, whether it was because he was carrying a bit of a niggle, and to put Chris straight in, or he just thinks Chris is like a different caliber at this moment in time, and he put Chris straight in, you could see, for me, he stood out head and shoulders, and I thought him marshalling the back line, and obviously the midfielders with Job, I thought Job had another really good game, breaking up the play, and with Job, not getting a yellow card, he was able to do what he could do for the majority of the game, and I just think we learned as the game went on, and we sort of put them. I thought we had them with ease. I can't remember, apart from obviously hitting the post or crossbar Middlesbrough did early on in the game, I can't remember them really have any clear-cut chances. We defended that well. We were always getting the ball in the right places.
Right. Conrad, do you want in there?
Just quickly, they didn't have a chance after that. That's what they kept saying on Sky, that after that they didn't have another attempt on goal. You might not have seen it yesterday, but some of the ones of us who watched it on telly did. At one point, my ender came over, clearly to get some instructions. And obviously Regis was there and Proctor had come over, and Proctor was giving him all this talk of like, you've got to play in here and go around and do this. And Regis was looking at him like... And then Proctor tapped him on the shoulder and walked off, and Regis went...
Dickhead.
And then he pretty much turned around to my end and just went, nothing like that. Just, do this bit as well. It was like they kept it on for ages. And I remember I was sitting there going, don't listen to Proctor. And it turns out Regis is saying the same thing as well.
Good. Thank God for that.
Yeah.
John Furness on the chat says here, again, regarding the referee was shite, says, how did he find an extra minute to add on and only 3 minutes of injury time? Prem refs can't ref as they wait for VAR. Fair points, I suppose. Michael Bauer says, arguably, Hume should have been sent off. Latte Lath and should have received a second yellow. as well. Yeah, definitely. 1-0. Was that a fair result, or do you think it doesn't tell the full story, Conrad?
It's pretty fair. The only other clear-cut chance we had was Mundell's free kick. We didn't really test their goalie, and they had no shots after they hit the bar early on. So I think it was pretty fair. Well, like I said before, I thought it was a really dull game, but I think it was mainly the way Middlesbrough was set up that caused the game to be a bit dull and not allow us to play our game, which is obviously their tactic. But in doing so, they completely scuppered their own.
Right, okay. Terry, 1-0. Did that was that a fair result, do you think?
Yeah, I think it was. I mean, someone said to me on my video, I don't know if it's true or not, that obviously we've had 3 home games, we've scored 5 goals and let in no goals. Is that some kind of record? I'm not quite sure in the championship.
6 goals we have. But
yeah,
I don't know if it's a record.
Not in, 3 home wins, 3 clean sheets. I think I'd take 1-0 wins all day long if this is the way we're going to play football. You know, if we're going to come away with 3 points, keep clean sheets, and score goals, for me, I'm happy with 1-0 wins.
Yeah, it's I mean, I think we'd all take a 1-0 win all day. It's just when you're there watching it. I mean, for me, as a 45-year-old man, it doesn't do anything for my my blood.
You can tell it's aged. Yeah, you can tell it's put 20 years on you, Phil.
Right, listen, Mike, 1-0. Is that about right?
I mean, that was the result at the end of the day, but I think it could have been more. The free kick from Mundell was an absolute bullet. It hit the post, and I really think we're seeing the best of Roberts this season that we've seen for the last couple of seasons, and he deserves a goal. And if you look at the replays on his shot, one of his shots, it's curling, and it just needed that extra yard or two to curl in, and it's so close. It could have easily been 3.
Yeah, I agree with you. Roberts has been brilliant. Terry, you want in there?
I'm quite pleased, though, that Mundell took the free kick, because I think if Roberts took the free kick, it would have went 10 mile over the bar. That's just my opinion. I think Mundell, it's great to see him take control of the ball because he was fouled. He should take the free kick. It's nice to have someone else take free kicks now. I thought, it was so hard lines up the score. Like, it was a brilliant free kick.
Well, it
would go in the back of the net.
I mean, it was a shocker for me. I mean, we were probably almost sort of like, you know, it was right in front of where we sit, sort of thing. And it was, and I'd said, oh, this is going in the wall because it was too close to go over the wall. So it was that. So, but because we're side on, you couldn't see how it could actually go around. But he went around the wall and hit the post. I mean, it was a great shot.
We said on the chat, he's got a Kieran Richardson this. There's no way you're getting up and over from the line. He's got to smash it at the goalie and go for it. And he did, but just half a foot to the side, it would have been a goal.
Yeah. Right. Look, just very quickly, we got 187 people on the chat. We got 73 likes. We like to hit 100 likes if we can on a Thursday. A Thursday. Well, I don't even know what day it is, man. On a Sunday. So just hit that thumbs up if you would. If you're watching on a mobile device and you've got the live chat open. Terry, what are you doing? It's not even November, man. Why is he doing all that?
Gotta be on his phone.
Look, just hit the thumbs up anyway. You'll see it there. And if you're watching and you haven't subscribed, we are trying to get to 10,000 subscribers, and we're trying to do it before Christmas. So if you're watching and you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, just hit the subscribe button. It's free. Doesn't cost you anything. Just hit the button. Do that. Let's get us to 10,000 in time for Christmas. Terry, have you got any Christmas things you can put in the background there? Oh, wait. Right. Well, you can unmute your mic and we'll know what you're saying.
I don't know how I'm doing this. I'm just...
All right, okay. Well, that's your homework for next Sunday. Get some Christmas stuff. Conrad.
Can I pose a question as to what are we going to do with our back line, considering that Hume is 1 yellow card away from suspension already? Because he's our only right back at the moment, and we've got a lot of injuries there, and Huggins isn't anywhere near to playing.
Well, Liverpool can play anywhere, can't he? But you just
do you take him out because he's been our best centre half, really?
Well, you got Ballard to come back in if you need to, haven't you? Really?
Well, look, I
Just
tell
an
you what.
interesting one. I saw 4 yellow cards already, and we played 5 games. I thought it was impressive.
Aye. Right, listen, I'll tell you what then. Let's get on to Chris Mepham then. He comes in. Well, I know my thoughts on it. Terry, how do you think he did?
Actually, I thought it was close to my man of the match, mate. I thought he was, like I just said already, he was head and shoulders. He just looks so calm, collected. You can see he's come down from a league. Like in one game, what I've seen so far, he looks like he's come down from the Premier League. I think it's an absolute fantastic sort of bit of work to get him at this club.
Right, okay. Mike, what did you think?
Yeah, I think similar sort of first impressions when we had Brownie come in, and you can tell the experience, and you can tell, and part of you thinks, well, why haven't we got some experienced players in sooner? Because clearly it works. But yeah, it's nice to have somebody in that centre back position who's designed to be there. And let's be fair, looks like a centre back. He's a big lad, So I think he's got lots of good things to come.
Right, okay. Just before I come to you, Conrad, because you're getting your question answered on the chat here by a few people. SG is saying Ballard and Mepham centre back. David Walker says 09 to right back. Ballard and Mepham centre backs. Michael Bowers says put 09 right back and have Ballard and play alongside Mepham. That seems to be the answer to your question there, Conrad. But we are coming to you. Chris Mepham, did he impress you?
Yeah, it was just a very calm and composed display all game. I think there was a chance late in the first half where Borough whipped a ball across the box and he just took a touch, walked out with it and just passed it off to somebody else. Whereas last week, Plymouth did the same thing. Our defender swiped at it, missed it, and then bundled over the bloke who he gave it to. It was just that you could see straight away the difference in the two of them. So hopefully Ballard learns a bit of the calmness and the composure from him. That's what we bring the experience in for. But yeah, thought he was fantastic. Didn't look out of place at all. It was a bit like when Mundle came in for Clark. It made no difference to the team just because of how good he was when he came in.
I mean, from my point of view, and I know I'm old, so I get confused easily. But I mean, even though I'm at the week chief, I'm on stage and I read the team out. We'll get the team through and I read it out for everybody and all that. But I obviously don't take much notice because I'm sat there and I'm thinking, who's this guy? And I'm thinking, and it was only then I realized, but it was because he looked so good, and I thought, dear me, I was well impressed with him.
I'm hoping it's not a Stan Varga thing where it's like a great first game and then sort of like tails off.
A couple of people have mentioned that in the chat earlier, but hopefully not. Right, then let's have a look then. Let's get a man of the match. The outstanding performer yesterday for you lot. Mike?
Are we going to talk about the goal at all before man of the match?
What I was going to do, I was going to talk about the goal, by the way, before we did the man of the match. Listen, Matt, I've told you, I'm at that age. It'll come to you all. It'll come to you all. All right. I was going to say, I want to ask you, before I go on to man of the match, I want to ask you about the goal. What did you think about the goal? Mike, I'm going to go to you on that.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was an amazing goal, and it's one of those ones, if it hadn't come off, you'd have thought he was an idiot, but he didn't have time to turn, and the back heel, if it doesn't go in, goes back into the danger area. So for a 17-year-old, that was very, very intelligent, quick thinking. So it was an amazing goal. The fact that it came off as well. I mean, if Brown was on the line, he'd have tapped it in and stole it. But other than that, it was a great goal. And I don't know if anyone else has noticed, you might have noticed on the TV, Conrad, during the celebration, Mundle went up to him and pushed him, and he turned around and said, I told you. So I don't know if there was a bet he could do it or not. I don't know.
He said after the game in his interview that he said, I told a few people this week I was going to score.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
He said that in his interview. Conrad, I was going to mention about the goal. What were your thoughts on it?
Yeah, well, my man of the match was, the goal. I mean, it sort of came out of the blue, really, because of Robert's shot that was going a good few meters wide anyway. But a bit like Mike said, he didn't have time to do anything else. But I've watched about 1,200 replays of it now because it's that good. He's not attempting the back heel to give it back to Mayenda. He knows exactly where he's standing, and he didn't even look at the goal. He knew exactly where he was. And the best thing was, he didn't like. If I tried to do that, I'd fall flat on my ass, miss the ball, and just face plant the floor. He still manages to move his other leg out of the way to back heel it and get the perfect angle on it. Didn't even like clip the post. He knew exactly where he was going. He's a special player, that lad, and there's nothing much more you can say about him. He's absolutely fantastic, and that just shows it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, to be honest, Chelsea got a great angle of it as well, which has gone around social media. So you've not only got the TV angle, you've got that from behind the goal. And I agree. He wasn't back heeling it to put it back across. He's back heeling it to put it in the net. Terry, what I was going to mention, I was going to go on to man of the match, but I thought it would be worth mentioning the goal yesterday. What are your thoughts on that?
I remember sitting in the stand and thinking, why did everybody stop playing? And then everybody went mental. I was thinking, what's happening here? But yeah, 2 words again, no fear. I can see a lot of people not trying that with all the heads on the shoulders. They would run after the ball, try and turn with the ball and try and put the ball back into the area. But he's got no fear, and he's just got, for me, if we can keep all the blame for next season, it's an absolute coup, because I think it'll be worth an absolute fortune. All the massive teams of the whole of the world will be bidding for this lad at some point. And just to have that, it's 17 years of age, to have that composure and the calmness to do that kind of finish, it's amazing. What a super talent we have here.
We've got a team full of great players, but if he stays, is a legend. He could be a Sunderland legend, and he's got that kind of aura about him that he could just make a name for himself at this club that would never go.
And at the end of the game, where he's giving this to the crowd, and the crowd are getting up for it, finished. He just loves it. He just loves it. He just seems to really be enjoying his football here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a bit like you, Terry. When he did the back heel, I mean, I'm the other end of the ground to where the goal was, but I saw him back heel it, but I thought it had gone across, and then somebody maybe then tapped it in, but it was only later we saw that. Just very quickly on the chat, Emma says it was right place, right time for that ball to come into him. I just think what he did, there was still a lot to do in it, and he did it, and he did everything.
I don't think any of the other 10 players on that pitch could do that, really. And I know Mundell's talented, and I know Roberts is absolutely amazing with his feet, but to even try that without even looking, and just do like Terry said, just no fear, I'm back heeling this, it's going in, and I'm not even going to look, I'm just going to run off and celebrate because I know it's in.
He seems to have a great centre of gravity. He seems to keep his feet, never sort of fall over, and he's just fast and nimble, and he gets in amongst it. And it just, for me, he's an all-round performer at this moment in time at the age of 17. Jesus,
he's an exciting prospect without a doubt. SJ said, spot on, Conrad. Well done. Give yourself a pat on the back. Right, okay, let's I'll tell you what I was going to do, because after I'd mentioned about the goal, I was going to go on about the outstanding performer. What about, shall we have a man of the match? Oh, I'll tell you what, before we do, 93 likes. We only need 7 people to hit that like button. Let's get up to 100 there. We've got 195 people on the stream. Smash that thumbs up, do that. And don't forget, while you're on, hit the subscribe button. Let's get us to 10,000 subscribers before Christmas if we can. Man of the match then. Terry, let's go straight with you.
After the game, I said straight away, I thought Chris Rigg was superb. I thought Meffin was superb, and I thought Job was. And I find it really difficult to pick on the man of the match because there were so many good performances. But I give it to Meffin after the game. But I just love that goal so much. I'm going to give it to Chris Rigg. Right, okay. Change my mind. It's hard because Job, it just looks a different player this season. And his composure in the middle of the field, breaking up play, running with the ball. He seems to keep the ball well. He's improved so much over the summer. I thought he was a standout player yesterday as well. But I'll just give it just to Chris Rigg for that bit of magic.
Listen, Terry, you're allowed to change your mind if you want, all right? Because one day, like me, you will lose your mind and you won't have that option to do that. Conrad, your man of the match.
I said after the game, I went for Mundell just because of his energy. He was up and down that pitch all day long, causing Middlesbrough threats on that side every time. Even his defensive tracking back, he did it 3 or 4 times, winning us the ball back and getting Sirkin out of difficult positions, apart from when Dennis Sirkin did a Maradona turn on that lad who came on, which was absolutely phenomenal. But and he was unlucky not to score again, which would have been 4 in 4. So I know Chris Rigg was fantastic and he scored a great goal, but Mundell was just absolutely everywhere on that pitch and an absolute threat all day long.
Right, before I come to you, Mike, this is the good thing about this. On the chat, there's so many different players coming in there, and they're all credible nominees, if you like, for man of the match. So and that says a lot about how we progressed, Conrad.
Well, it's been the same for every game this season, even when we lost, where we struggled to pick one for bad reasons. We've struggled to pick one every game we've won because of how good the whole team's been. It's been unreal.
Right, okay. Before coming to you, Mike, then SJ says Rigg down there, Ben Rowland, Rigg, Glyn Jones has Mepham, John Furness, Job with David, Job for Rob, SAFC, Emma saying Roberts, Mepham never put a foot wrong. Riggy, he come there, Gary Hoyle, and this is Job, Mad Mackham, and they're all, like I said, credible nominees, really. Mike, your man of the match?
I'm going to agree with Emma for a change, unlike her penalty decisions. I'm going to go just to be different, because it's easy to give it to Rigg, it's easy to give it to Mundell. I love both of them as players, and the goal was amazing. But Roberts kind of was an architect towards the goal, played an integral part, had some great shots, and he was just on form, and I think he's just getting better and better, which you don't expect from a player like him. I didn't think he would have anything left this season, but he's proving me wrong. So mine's Roberts.
I think Roberts needs a goal in open play, doesn't he? Really, that's what you want from Roberts. He had a goal in open play.
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
Getting closer. He was about half a foot away this time, so next time it'll be the post, and then maybe he'll score afterwards.
I thought that one was going in. Actually, I was behind the goal when it came across, and I thought it was back in the net.
I thought it was where you were sitting roughly, and when they had a corner at one point, I was trying to pick Wayne out where he sits as well. I was like, I know you two are like roughly here, but yeah.
Right, well, I mean, for me, I would have said Roberts until, if it wasn't
Emma did, and then you can't agree with Emma.
Because I think Roberts this season has been amazing, but so has Rigg. And again, the thing is, Rigg's goal is what gives it the edge, and so it's Chris Rigg for me. And but again, so many Roberts, Job, Mepham, all in there, which is brilliant news for us. That we've come this far.
Can we shout out 09 as well? He was fantastic as well.
Yeah,
didn't get enough
he was unbelievable good as well. Right, look, I'll tell you what we'll do. I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to put to you, and then we're going to go and do our members prize. We're going to spin the wheel. While we're on Chris Rigg, then rumours are Man United are wanting him. Bayern Munich are wanting him. How long can we sort of reasonably think that we can keep Rigg? And before I do put that to you, my heart says hopefully he'll either be advised or know himself that if he's going to go to one of those clubs, the likelihood he's not going to just go straight into that team where he's got regular first team football here, and and hopefully that could swing it. Mike, I mean, are we going to lose him in January? Is it going to be next year? Do you think we might get a few years out of him yet?
There's always that threat, but I think it'll be a failing of the ownership if they do not keep him. They do not put their hands in their pockets when they need to. Maybe not in January. They just need to fight off the competition. I think himself, he looks happy. He looks content. Looks like he's a good part of the squad. So unless it's for money and a ridiculous wage, I can't see him wanting to leave at this stage, not when we're in the position we are, heading towards the Premier League. Why wouldn't you want to be part of that journey? So I think we're safe for this year. Next year, it's all about whether our ownership puts their hands in the pockets or not.
Right, okay. I'm just seeing someone coming on the chat there, Emma, saying, what is this, Conrad? Pick on Emma Knight? So we'll go to you. We'll go to you, Conrad. Chris Rigg, what's the likelihood of him going pretty soon?
If we get promoted, I think we keep him and several of the other ones that have got clubs sniffing around him. I worry that if we don't go up, did he sign? Was it a 2 or a 3 year deal? I'm not sure, but let's say even if he stays next season, if we don't go up this and we go up the season afterwards, he's into his last year of his deal, and that's the position we don't want to be in. Because I think he's got a higher ceiling than we do. Is probably the thing I'm looking at on here, which is not a nice thing to say because I want to obviously grow with him and have the best players. But I'd like to, at least if we're going to sell him, it has to be sold. You can't hold out and just do a Josh Madger and let him go for next to out in the end and just sort of go, oh, he was all right while he was here.
Yeah, and look who's scoring now.
Yeah, exactly. 6-6 for him or something. Yeah. We were so wrong. I think he stays just because I think to this time last season he wasn't even in the team. He was on the bench a lot and wasn't even getting minutes. So he's only 6 months into it. So I'd like to think his advisors are saying 18 months, give it a full 18 months there before you start having a look at what's next. And I like to think he and our club higher-ups will make a sensible deal that we say is longer, but we have an agreement where he can go and we're not going to get ripped off.
Yeah, it's the worry for me is the hierarchy. Somebody comes in and offers quite a few million, they'll be going, whoa! And I hope I'm wrong on that. But Terry, are we likely to lose him pretty soon or not?
I think Chris Rigg is a Brucey bonus for the ownership. I didn't think when they had this 5-year plan, he wasn't anywhere near their plans of earning 50 million. Now, let's say, for instance, I don't know, Real Madrid comes in for 50 million. Who has the final say? The owners to sell him or the player?
Probably the owners. The player can choose not to go, but they're not going to choose to turn down Real Madrid or someone like that, are they?
I think we can hopefully hold off. If we sell him in the January window, for me, it's an absolute disgrace and a travesty if he wants to stay. But for me, I think we can hold off and keep him for this whole of this summer. If we don't get promoted, he's gone because someone will come in with a massive offer that the owners won't be able to sort of refuse.
Yeah.
And of course, I think personally, if he plays a full season in the Championship at the level he's doing now, he is ready for the next step up. And for me, he'll have to demand to play first-team football because I think he will be able to play first-team football at the age of 18. What for
right. Just very quick. I'm trying to rush it along now because we are running out of time. And what I want to do, there's loads I'm not going to get in. I wanted to talk about Watford, but I'm sure you will do that now on extra time. But I'd like to get your predictions because Conrad spent all day doing this our prediction league. And if I
was at the pub doing it. I was like,
yeah, if I don't put this up, there'll be out the matter. So let me get your predictions then for Watford on Saturday. Terry,
Watford 1, Sunderland 2.
Right, okay, Mike.
Clean sheet, 4-0 Sunderland.
Conrad.
A wee Philly special, 3-1 Sunderland.
3-1, right, okay. Well, for me, just for a change, I think it'll be, I think it'll be 3-1 Sunderland. But we do have a little prediction league between us down here, and Conrad insisted that we put this on. So just to show you how we're all doing down there.
Say, I am top of the league. Say, I am top of the league.
Conrad, who's bottom?
Emma.
Oh, you're just picking on her, man. Yeah, man, that's all you've done. All show.
Terry, what score did you say again?
1-0.
1-0. I just don't trust Philly's notes.
2-1 to Sunderland.
Right, okay, look. What I'm going to do, we're going to do this draw. Right, now this is how it works, right? If you remember, you entered into the draw. At the moment, we got 46 members, right? And so 5 of them are us. So we've taken us off the wheel. No, you can't. You can't win. He's taking us off the wheel.
I'm
All
going to
right.
change my name of my guy, and you won't know it's
So
me.
basically, Luke, we've got
Start turning up in the winner's shirt every time.
right. Look, we got there. They are right. There's 41 names. Oops, 41 names there at the moment. There's the wheel. Everybody's on it now. We're going to spin the wheel. If it lands on you, then Toffs, the old-fashioned football shirt, who are sponsoring the channel, giving us a free shirt every single week, which we can give away to members only. If you want to join and be in this draw next week, all right, it's $1.99, just $1.99. It's not even 50 pence a week. And listen, it really does help this channel out for us. It doesn't make a profit, and it all is gratefully appreciated, anybody who does that. So we're going to spin the wheel. If your name comes up, we need you to contact us with the size you would like sent out, and we will need your address. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put our email address on screen after we've done this as well. And well, let's spin the wheel. All right, here we go then. Let's have a look. So this is for Toffs, the old-fashioned football shirt company, and these are great. I mean, some of these shirts, are like 75 quid and all that. They're really good. It's a good giveaway. And let's have a look. Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? It's going to land on. Oh, it's going to be. Oh, no, there you go. It is Bill Johnson. Can we give Bill a big round of applause? Give him a round of applause, please, if you would. Thank you very much. So that is there you go. That is Bill. Bill, I've quickly got to put our email address on screen there. Bill, if you're watching or you know Bill, tell him that he's this week's winner. Email us with the size you would like sent out, and email us your address. We'll pass that on to Toffs, and they will send you your shirt. Well done. Congratulations to you. And don't forget, you can be in that draw next week. You can contact us on Facebook as well, or Instagram. I think you can do that also. And whilst we're on about Toffs, if you want to go onto the Toffs site, you can get a 15% discount. There is a discount code. It's down. All the details are down in the description. So get yourself a bit of money off. Why don't you do that? All right. And again, thanks to Toffs for sponsoring the channel for us this season. So, lads, that just about wraps it up. Really, I think we're on. Well, I've got 112 likes here already, so that's good. You can keep that going. We are going to be back midweek with we're going to be back with an extra time on Conrad. When's extra time? 7
o'clock on Thursday.
Thursday time. So tune in for that. There will also be a live stream of the game on
Saturday at 3. Quarter to 3 if you're starting on. I don't know if Mike's there. Mike doesn't show up anymore. It's usually just me now.
I'll be there because it's going to be a 4-0 win, so I've got to be there.
There you go. That's fine. Well, every stream, Mike, that me or you have done, we have won. Both streams that Philly's done, if he's over that side or that side, we've lost. So we need to keep this going.
No more
keep
streams, Philly.
Yeah, no more streams for you, Phil.
Listen, I wasn't on here to do the streams. That's the A team.
Yeah,
that's why you've been given the job. All right. Listen,
Mike is doing work for charity, and I was necking too many drinks to be PC on a stream.
Right. Don't worry about that. Just enjoy yourself. Right. Listen, we got to go. I've got to go to work because, yes, you're right. You have guessed it. I am a grafter. So let's say bye to everybody. Conrad, just say bye to everybody.
Just say bye to everybody.
Just do that. Do that. Be happy with a smile. Yeah. Mike, it's time to go. Say bye.
I just want to say on my sign out, I know you're already subscribed, everyone. So introduce the channel to somebody new. Yeah. Share it with your friends.
Is this a pass the pod thing?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Definitely. That's your mission for next Sunday. Introduce the pod, introduce it to somebody else.
You know what? I never thought about that. Probably because I've got no friends. Otherwise, I would have probably thought about that. Terry, say bye to everybody, please, would you?
Bye, everybody. Have a good week.
Oh,
there's the fireworks explosion.
There's these fireworks again. Listen, thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, do all that, spread the word. And, well, we'll see you. I'll see you next week. These lads will see you in the week. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget, if you are a member, watch the credits. Your name's going to be on there. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.